Majestically rising 500 feet or more above a beautifully landscaped mall stands the Washington Monument, commemorating the memory of George Washington and a fitting tribute to the capital city of the United States of America. From the top of Washington Monument may be seen a most impressive panorama of the capital city, with the historic Potomac River providing a boundary line between the District of Columbia and the state of Virginia. The city of Washington was created to provide a permanent seat of national government, and the plan of its wheel-like construction was formulated by Pierre L'Enfant, an obscure French architect and a military engineer who had served under General Washington in the colonial army. Where the city's north, south, east, and west axes cross, dividing it into 4 sections, stands the Capitol of the United States, the entire building covering 8.5 acres. The impressive dome of this magnificent edifice is made of iron, weighing almost 9 million pounds. Members of the Senate meet in one wing of the Capitol, and members of the House of Representatives meet in the other wing. Foremost among the world's great residences of state stands the White House, executive mansion of the United States, and the official residence of the President and his family. Its cornerstone was laid in 1792, but the first president died before it was ready for occupancy. Ranking among the most imposing buildings in Washington is the National Archives building, containing important documents, the most significant of which are the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. This building houses the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, a government-independent agency for the control of the nation's banking and monetary affairs. In this impressive building, the affairs of the Department of Labor and the Interstate Commerce Commission are conducted. The first major federal government structure in Washington, authorized, designed, and built by the Roosevelt administration, is the Department of the Interior, said to be the largest government building in the world, covering approximately 5.5 acres and having cost around $13 million. One of the most familiar landmarks in the District of Columbia is the Union Station, where more than 200 trains arrive and depart daily, transporting about 40,000 passengers. There are over 112,000 government employees in the District of Columbia, and it is an interesting sight at the close of a business day to see them filing out of the various federal buildings. Among the many fine hotels in Washington is the new Willard, often referred to as the residence of the presidents. One of the most attractive buildings in the District of Columbia is that of the new United States Supreme Court, housing the highest judicial tribunal in the country, the Chief Justice and 8 Associate Justices, appointed for life by the President. It is said that there is more marble used in this building than any other one structure in the world. Managed as a ward of the government is the Smithsonian Institute, a private foundation established by an endowment left to the United States over a century ago by James Smithson, an English scientist who never set foot upon the soil of the United States. Among the 50 or more countries represented in the national capital by embassies and legations are the new British Embassy, the Swiss Legation, the Japanese Embassy, the French Embassy, and the Swedish Legation. The National American Red Cross building is a tribute to the memory of Clara Barton, who in 1881 organized the American branch of this praiseworthy institution. The Pan American Union Building, headquarters for an international organization composed of 21 countries of the Western Hemisphere, was founded upon the principle of united interests and represents the most ambitious efforts yet made to maintain and forward the social, economic, and cultural interrelationships of the Americas. Each of these 21 countries makes financial contributions in ratio to its population. Springtime in Washington is the season of its greatest natural beauty, and visitors come here from all parts of the country to view the cherry blossoms. The first of these Japanese cherry trees were the gift of Mrs. William Howard Taft, who in 1907 had a number of trees imported and planted along the Potomac. Later, a civic-minded Japanese living in this country imported about 3,000 cherry trees from Japan and magnanimously presented them to the national capital. And now we come to what is perhaps the most famous landmark in the District of Columbia, the old Ford Theater, wherein Abraham Lincoln was assassinated while attending a performance on the night of April 14th, 1865. Rapidly bleeding to death from the fatal wound, the great emancipator was carried across the street to this house, where he died, in the room from the window of which now flies the flag of the Union, for which he gave his life. Two years after his assassination, concerted efforts to erect a memorial to Abraham Lincoln began. But it wasn't until 1915 that the laying of the cornerstone ceremonies were held. And here we behold the completed shrine, dedicated to the memory of him who resolved that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people for whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever.